Hey everybody, we're back in business. We've taken a little break with doing podcasts with Rocco. He's been kind of going through a roller coaster of like personal stuff. So I just been doing private calls with Rocco. So basically, Rocco moved to a couple different shops. He was at, I think, Hyundai, and then started at the newest shop, which is at Ford. And he loves Ford. Problem is, he's been having trouble clocking hours, and he's been losing money. He's been really stressed out about money. So this is like the first day where he's finally coming out of this rut. So stay tuned. I'm excited. What's up, my man?
How you doing,
Dude, your hair looks, I want to say amazing, but that's not a good word.
brother? Oh shit.
So
Yeah,
what's up? What's up? You've been on a roller coaster of emotions. What's
I have. It's great. It's like Six
yeah?
Flags, but without the lines.
No lines. No
Yep.
lines. No breaks. No breaks.
Nope.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit.
So okay, so flagged 9 hours and 3 hours, right?
Correct. I got this car at 2 o'clock, and it had a whooshing sound when you step on the brakes, and the brake pedal was hard to push. It was a bad brake booster, and then I inspected the car, and he also needed front and rear pads and rotors and a brake flush. And they sold it all with the diagnostic was 8.7 hours, and they got approved at 240. So from 240 to 550, that's how long it took me to do the whole job.
So that's a huge win.
Oh yeah, that's gravy right there, dude.
Yeah,
That's the way
because
it should be.
you've been gravy. Yeah, it's gravy when you've been like eating like beans and rice and sticks. You've been kind of struggling on that, right?
Yeah, I've had a lot of hard diagnostics, and I've had a lot of BS cars. My boss gave me 2 hours on a BS car today because it was dumb. He's like, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I'm just going to give you 2 hours for this car.
Okay. How long
I'm
how long
like,
did you work on it?
probably like 3 hours. So what I'm doing differently this week is every single car I get, whether it's customer pay or whether it's warranty, as soon as I get it, I clock in and I run time, which is mechanic time, and I'm gonna clock at least 1.9 hours of actual time on that ticket. And if I haven't figured out the ticket by then, um, I'm gonna pause or stop and let it go and just flag time for that ticket because it's a guaranteed way to make sure I get hours if I can't like flag any labor ops and stuff like that. So I'm doubling down this week just to make sure I cover my bases, and it seems to be working. It's like a
Cool.
lot of, I'm not used to dealership world, dude. So it's very different. And even for dealerships compared to other places, it's still very different. So you really have to know the system to make money there. And if you can work warranty times and can work the labor ops in your favor, then it works out well. Like I did a recall this morning. They make you take a little, ferrite like snap that goes around the wires. And it's supposed to cut down on RF interference. And I guess like whatever radio module is in the roof of an F-150, it'll emit some radio waves that throws the TPMS sensors in the rear off. So they paid me 2.7 hours to do this recall, but I didn't have to drop the whole headliner. I just had to drop like a portion of it and then reach in and literally clip this stuff around it, tape it up and put it back. It took me like 20 minutes, but I get paid the 2.7 to drop the whole headliner. So they think I'm dropping the whole headliner, but I'm not. I'm just dropping like a small portion of it. That's
Yeah,
how you work labor times. So
gotcha. So,
yeah.
tell me about like, so we kind of texted about it, but tell me about like you talk to your boss. Did you end up talking to the other shop? Because you're looking to
Yeah.
join the shop across the street. Were you just texting?
Yeah.
Were you just emailing, or what happened?
No, so okay, so a quick rundown. I was really irritated Friday. I got this email from the shop literally across the street.
What were you
And
irritated
then
about?
about not making the hours I want to make, not flagging the hours I want to flag. I'm
Gotcha.
having a hard time
Well,
flagging hours at this shop compared to like an independent shop where it's just a very different atmosphere. It's easier to flag hours. Here it's a different ball game, and I'm still in a learning curve. So I know that no doubt at least half of it's me. I get that, but it's still frustrating because I'm working my ass off. But anyways, this guy emails me. He says he's interested in a lead technician. So I wind up meeting up with this guy Friday after work, and I had my son with me. So we had an interview, and we talked, and he's like, I want to offer you this much. Think it over the weekend. Come see me Monday. We'll have lunch, and we'll talk about the job. I'm like, all right, cool. At the same time, I'm contemplating this job and my current job because I really like working at Ford. So I decide Monday morning I'm going to go talk to my boss, and I do exactly that. And I'm glad I did. He had nothing but nice things to say about me. He considers me an asset. He doesn't want to lose me. Let's work to fix this problem so we can keep you here and keep you happy. Exactly what I wanted to hear. I thought that was great. It was still a rough day because, things hadn't cycled through yet. So I'm still on old energy. And I go to the other shop just to cover my bases. And I walk in, and he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, so I'm back. We can do that lunch thing. And he's like, well, I hired someone this morning. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, 10 a.m. I'm like, okay. And I didn't want to be like a dick or anything like that. So I'm just like, okay. And then he keeps talking to me, and I'm like, well, this is pointless. He's like, well, he's supposed to start on the 19th, but, anything can happen. Why don't you give me a call back in a couple of days, and we'll see where the dust settles. I was like, sure. Okay. I just walked out.
yeah.
I'm never going to call that guy again. That's just, no. You don't do that to somebody and then backpedal like that, because that's just bad. That's a red flag. So he answered my question
Oh,
for me.
yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to work there.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Because
he's
you
doing that
text
before he
me.
hired me, then what's he going to do after he hires me?
Right.
Right?
He's gonna
Right.
be claiming, yeah, well, there's a ton of work here, and then you find out there's none.
Right.
So,
So,
but yeah, you told me like you're meditating, and and you're like stressed out from like not making enough money, and then
yeah.
then this email came in about like making like $3 more an hour or something, and
Yeah. After I got off the phone with you Friday morning, dude, I was just had it. I'm like, I can't keep doing this. I need something to change. So I meditated, dude, for like, good almost hour before I went to work. And I told the
nice.
universe, I'm like, something needs to change. I said, I need a sign. So what do I do next? Do I leave this job? Do I stay? I don't know what to do. And then right as I got to my kids' homeschool orientation, I got that email with this job, and the job's name was Heaven Sent, which is hilarious. And it seemed legit. He didn't like make a
Heaven
cookie
sent.
cutter email. He actually emailed me. You could tell he wrote it. And then when he had an interview with me with my 4-year-old son, and he was unfazed by it, and I thought the interview went really well. And nothing came of it. But what did come of it was me and Gina got to talking about the situation, and then I talked with you too, and I decided to water the grass on my side and talk to my boss, and I'm glad I did because it really changed everything. It takes a job that I already love and enjoy, and now they're fixing the one thing that's bothering me. So,
Yeah, I think sometimes with that, like, I mean, I remember you were saying, well, this came at the perfect time. I was meditating, and then this job, and I didn't know it was called like Heaven Sent or whatever, which is
it's Heaven
hilarious.
Sent, dude.
Yeah, that's
The address was like 1111 and had 333 reviews. I'm like, no fucking way, dude.
really.
Yeah.
Did he
Yeah.
email you at 11:11?
No, it was at 140, 149. He emailed me, but like
That's
all
a
the
red
other
flag.
shit. I
That's red.
know.
But
Oh, dude.
yeah, what was I gonna say? I think sometimes the universe just sends you like a morale booster.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like I had with Grip Mat. I had this mentor who was like she full time did military contracting, and every single time I would talk to her, I was just so excited. I was like so energized. But I know, like looking back on it, all her advice was like did not help me. It never. But there was some weeks I'm like I'm gonna quit until like I talk to Hazel, and then she would, and then I'd be like, okay, after talking to Hazel, like I'm gonna keep going. And I think the thing is that the help that she was giving me to pay for it would cost me tons of money. But still, even free or not, nothing ever came from it. It never came to like, never got a military contract or anything like that. Like not that kind of contract I was looking for. But it really just gave me like excitement, gave me energy, and there was a lot of times I wanted to quit, and then it just like talking to her was like a big push. So, and I could kind of smell that when you were talking about it, because I'm like, oh, there's another shop that's like perfect, and then you're going to get $3 more. And really, I'm like, the only thing I'm seeing is it's $3 more, because like this random independent shop, you're going to get like any random. It sounded like you could get like a heavy dump truck. You could get like a random hybrid
No,
car, and then
it's all light passenger cars, but it's literally the whole spectrum. I mean, a BMW can pull in, an Audi can pull in, a Ford can pull in,
right,
a Chevy can pull in,
right,
anything can pull in. So
right.
yeah,
So
that's
and it
the
sounds like
difference.
some.
And they're also shit boxes. I'm working on new cars right now.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you're going to get something 20 years old that you can't get a part
Right.
for, and then you got to have taken apart, and then you got to, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I was like, another thing I felt was, I mean, I feel like you're still kind of like coming out of this like little like depressed to low point. Um, I mean, I think you're better than earlier this week, but is that accurate or?
Oh yeah, I'm great. I'm great.
Okay.
I'm over it. I've already like
Okay.
released all that energy. It's gone. Today's a new day, dude. That's yesterday's shit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm great.
I guess like what we talked about is like this was like a test or a lesson from the universe. What did you learn from?
I need to control my emotions better.
Mm,
I need to communicate more and a little earlier.
mm.
And it's okay to feel the emotions, but I don't need to feel them to the extreme that I feel them.
Yeah, I think to like upgrade that a little bit is you don't need to react to them the way as much.
Yeah. There
'Cause,
we go. I don't need to react.
you
Do a
know,
lot of reacting instead of responding.
yeah, because
Yeah.
like there, I because someone said that to me of like I was like, who's responsible for your joy and happiness? And I was like, you are responsible for your joy and happiness. And he's like, can you really control that? And I thought about it. I was like, I don't think you can, but I think you can control your reactions to it. So, and then I guess like more importantly, if you're controlling your reactions to your anger and sadness, I think that actually has a ripple effect onto your happiness and your joy. So
Yeah.
if you're, like, I mean, with you, you may have been looking at like, oh, I'm out of money, and then therefore panic. I need to freak out. Where really it's just like, okay, what do I need to do? Like, and really, Rocco, what I've heard you say in the past is like, at the end of the day, the only one who cares about me is me. Or I've heard you say things like that, and I
Yep.
think really, like a huge lesson that I'm seeing is like the concept of playing team and like
I've been alone for so long, I don't know what it's like to be on a team. And this place, legitimately, is like the first team I ever enjoyed being on.
good.
But I get that though. Yeah.
But I think there's a point where I think everyone has a team. It might not be as big as others, but I think there's always you always have a team. Where like the thing is, if you had $0 and you're like, my kids are starving, if you went through your phone and just called every single person's like, hey, here's a situation, can I get 10, 20, 30, $50? I'm sure you could find someone who would be on your team, I guess. If that's a buddy in Cali or wherever. Um, so I think like I guess what I was feeling is that you were kind of quick to
Well, you're only getting a small percentage of that because my team is not very big. And when you deplete all your resources and there are none left, that's when I freak out. I literally had no one left to call.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. Couldn't call. I can't call my parents. I don't have any extended family. My friend's broke as a joke. My friend Steven, my friend Jeff, I can't ask him for money anymore because the last 3 times he said he couldn't do it. So I'm just not asking him anymore. And that's then you. And I already owe you money, dude. I can't ask you for fucking more money. I'm like, what do I do? Like I'm tapped out. And that's why I was freaking out the way I was because like I really didn't have any other options. And I honestly didn't think my boss was going to freaking straight Venmo me money out of his own pocket. But he did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And he gave me more than I asked for, which
Nice.
was really cool. And he's
Yeah.
been checking on me every single day since we talked. Yeah.
Cool.
Which
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not used to being treated that way, so it means a lot, and I feel really valued. And that's the first time I think I ever felt valued at a place I work at. And that really changes my demeanor and it changes the way I feel about this place even more and it makes me want to work harder. That's why it's 6:38 and I'm just now coming home today. So I can't tell the guy I'm broke and I need money and then leave, at 4:30 when I have a 9-hour job sitting there. So
Right.
you got to play
Right.
the other part too. And I'm showing him that I'm here to play, you know?
Yeah. And also, I mean, you're just working late to rack up more hours, which is,
Right.
the pay. So your pay period, it's every 2 weeks, right?
We just started
And
over
then,
on Monday.
oh, okay. Okay. So it started on Monday. So then basically the last 2 weeks you would get paid this coming Friday.
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. So hopefully this coming paycheck will be like the last, like, smaller paycheck.
Yeah. Well, this paycheck is the third time I hit over 80 hours since I've been there. And I've been there 4 months. So I had one paycheck that was 90 hours, which was like I think a month ago. And then I had like 81 hours, and then this paycheck was 83.4 hours. So, and that
Gotcha.
was with missing three. I legitimately missed 3 days of opportunity because I was stuck diagnosing a brand new bad engine. So for those 3 days that I was like stressing out over this car, I didn't flag anything, but I still made 83 hours. But that's also because I put an engine in that car twice. Yeah, yeah. At least I got paid warranty for it.
So you put the
No, I got paid twice. I got paid
oh, you didn't get
22.6
paid
the
twice.
first
Okay.
time. I got paid 22.6 the first time, and then the engine was bad, and then I spent the next like 2.5 days diagnosing it, and then after we threw an injector and a PCM at it, we came to the conclusion the engine was bad, and then I did the second engine. I got 17.4 hours. I did that one in 6 hours. I cut my time in half, and then I only got 3 hours of I only got 3 hours of diagnostic for 2.5 days, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I know how that goes when you like put something together and then when you like take it up when you like
Dude, no, I didn't do it again. Like I put that engine in the car and it didn't work, and I had like the valve cover off twice. I had the intake manifold off 5 times. Yeah, so like I took the car apart for those 2.5 days. So by the time I did the engine again, I didn't have to look at the workshop manual. I knew where everything went. I knew exactly what to take apart. I think I had the engine out and the transmission out of the car and sitting on a platform in like 90 minutes. I think the first time it took me 4 hours. Yeah, dude, you give me the
yeah.
Ford Edge, dude, I will do them all day long now, dude. I probably do them in 5 hours now.
Yeah. As many
Yeah,
Ford Edge as possible.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool what your boss did. I mean, I think like at the end of the day, I think it's like going to build a ton of loyalty, Sounds like you're excited to be there. You're um, you know, where like,
I am. I
I
love
mean,
this job. And that's how I started the conversation with him. I'm like, I love this job, but I can't afford to work here. And the fact that
it
on a week where we're slow and other people are struggling for money, he's focused on making sure I'm taken care of. Like
yeah,
the shop is technically slow. I can tell the shop's slow because there's people walking around waiting for approvals. But like, you know, regardless of that, I'm making hours. I'm getting better cars. He talked to my dispatcher. I'm getting different cars. I suspect I'm going to be doing more transmission work because I'm starting to get transmission cars now. So we'll see how that goes too.
yeah. Also, what I'm kind of thinking about is when people are like, when I see like signs, and when I see a sign, I'm almost like committed to this sign, and I like almost ignore the red flags. Where, you know, what you're saying is like, you had like this other shop reach out to you at the most perfect time, and while you're meditating, and while, it's like his name's called Heaven Above or whatever, and it's just like, I think a lot of times people would have been like, oh, this is a sign, the universe is saying to do this thing, and then we're just committed, like, I don't care about any red flags. It's just like, it happened at 11:11. It's got 333 reviews and whatever. So I think it's cool that, I don't know. I guess the lesson that I'm getting from you, for me, is like, signs don't really matter. Just like, you can get energized from signs, but I don't think that needs to turn on
They do and
awareness.
they
And I
don't
think,
matter. It's only meant to change your perspective and make you think from a different end. And that's exactly what it did. I mean, I could have just blindly said yeah and took the job Friday and left, and then look what's that have gotten me. That would have been me reacting
right,
and
yeah.
just blindly going into it. And I've learned my lesson, and I try my best not to do that anymore. And I'm glad I didn't because that would have been a really bad move.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's, you're definitely light years ahead of where you were a few shops ago.
Yeah, I
So
think so. Yeah. Right?
cool. You mentioned something about your daughter having like a birthday party. Was that this past weekend, or is that
Yeah,
next
that was
weekend?
Sunday.
Gotcha.
This Sunday,
Was she able to
the
go?
11th. Yeah, I took her.
Oh, sweet. How was it?
It was amazing. I'm so glad I took her. She had the absolute most best time. She's still talking about it, dude. It was great. It was a
Good,
lot of
good.
fun. I'm so glad I can give her that memory because it was like in my mind, dude, that's a memory you can't get back, And like it doesn't matter what I'm going through, I can't take that away from my kid. And despite what I was going through, I still did it anyway, and it all worked out in the end. And I'm glad I didn't take her fun away because of fucking a couple of dollars.
Yeah. It was another like
Yeah.
home.
We met them at the Discovery Center here in Murfreesboro like months ago, dude. They only had one play date together. And but they played for like 3 hours and they had such a great time. The mom was like, "Can I get your phone number? Can we do this again?" I'm like, "Sure." And then like we contacted each other like once or twice before this, but we just never were able to line up. That's all I really remember of this person. Daphne remembers the kid's name. He remembers that his mom was pregnant and that she was about to have a baby and they're going to name the baby Penelope. And I'm like, really? And then we show up
Oh,
and the kid's like 3 months old and the kid's name's Penelope. And the mom's like, your daughter remembered that? I'm like, yeah, she remembered more than I did. So, but yeah, we met them here. And then she just happened to invite me last Wednesday. And I asked her, I'm like, do you want to go? And she's like, yeah, I remember Oliver. I want to go. And she was super excited, dude. And it was great, man. It was a ton of fun.
yeah. I remember you mentioned something about like wanting to go to the birthday party with like a present and not just be empty handed. I think you said like some chump or something. Um,
Yeah.
but what what I wanted to tell you about was when I was like less than 10 years old. I think I was like maybe 7 or 8 on my birthday. My dad's cousin came, and he has 3 kids, and one of them's like my age. And the best way to describe him is he is like cousin Eddie from like Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
So like he is just like broke all the time and just doing the weirdest shit, and just like every time I see him, every time I would see him, be like, this guy's so weird. But the thing was, he was always broke. Like one time he didn't have gas money to get home, and his like new get rich quick scheme was to sell like exotic reptiles, and that is literally the reason why, because he didn't have gas money. He convinced my dad, like, yo, I need gas money. Will you buy this
You
iguana?
told me about that,
But
dude. That's so funny.
yeah. But anyway, for my birthday, he gave me a wooden sword that he made. And the thing is, this is not a good wooden sword. This is not a like, wow, he like crafted it. It was literally like, you know what a 2x4 is, right? Like he basically like cut a 2x4 in half, like long ways, and then just like made it like a little cross basically, and then it was like a long one and a short one for like a dagger. But that was his gift, and I remember like opening it up as a kid and being like, what the hell is this? And then my dad was like, oh, it's a sword from cousin. And no, the thing was, as a kid, I was like, dude, this is like a whack gift. But thinking about it as a kid, him and his kids are the only people I remember coming to my birthday, and that is the only gift that I remember as a kid, like from that birthday. Like, yeah, it was weird, but I'm like, anyway.
That's cool.
So
That's the only one you
even if you're,
remember.
yeah, I mean, it was, looking back on it, I was like, and I remember I opened it, and I remember seeing his son Ned, who's the same age as me, like playing with it, and he was like so excited to play with this wooden sword, and I'm like, bro, this is not a Nerf gun. Like, this is like not a cool toy. But yeah. Anyway, it was funny.
Oh, it's good shit.
All right, bro. I see that you're home, and I know you got some
I am.
an army of kids in there waiting for their superhero to get back.
Right.
So, all right,
You
brother.
gotta rescue the poor cat.
Oh yeah, you got a cat. I keep forgetting you got a cat. Yeah, the cat knows how your wife feels. The cat's just like, oh my god,
The cat
gifts are
does,
free.
dude. Like, yeah, you should see the cat at the end of the night. Like, as soon as the kids go to bed, he's like, thank God, someone pet me that's not crazy.
Your wife's ready for 10 cats to distract the kids with. Like, give me a
Right, for
break.
real. She's like, I'm like, no, one's enough, dude. You can't do more than one. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, bro.
All right, man.
Have a good day, man. I'll see you. Hey, keep your
All
phone
right,
on.
later, brother. You got it.
All right, ciao.
Ciao.